It is good to be together. I am always so glad to see your faces and to feel you here. On this day, we are celebrating and following an ancient indigenous prayer called the Thanksgiving Address. It is typically said, spoken, acted, if you will, enacted in the morning for the dawn. We are doing this at sunset, and yet I ask that we hold in our hearts the new day that we are all believing in and working for and hoping for. Like the decorations in this beautiful space where we have our beautiful holiday decorations for the start of December, and we have our fall bouquet here, and we're listening to indigenous voices and their music and their instruments. Life is complicated. There is a lot. And I can promise you that each and every one of us holds complicated feelings. Feelings of joy and gratitude, feelings of maybe confusion or even helplessness or guilt with all that is going on in the world, feelings of sadness or loss, feelings of wishing that certain people were with you that are not. But my friends, we are here now. And we are here not only for the gathering of our own hearts and minds, and I hope you find some peace, but we're here to honor Indigenous people and their traditions, and to know that for them, this Thursday is a day of mourning. So I have long sat with the conflict of all that I am grateful for, knowing that it is truly one of the most difficult and sad days in the lives of Indigenous peoples. So it is complicated, it is rich, and it is real. So my prayer and hope is that whatever it is that draws you here for this time, it will not be very long, that you find that within yourself and here in this sacred space. Join me in a moment of prayer and meditation, and we'll move into the ritual. Spirit of love, Spirit of life and everlasting life that has so much more to do with our essence than with our bodies, that is so much more than about who it is living in the body today, but who it is that is around us and with us and in us. The ancestors, our own, those we have known, and those we did not know, but who are still a part of us. We call them here. We recognize that we are never alone. We call forth all the people who have been a part of our lives, all the lands on which we have made our lives, all the plants that we have grown, all the animals we have loved, the waters we have swum in, and the skies we have turned to. Help us be people of humility, people of gratitude, people of connection. And may each and every person here tonight receive a gift that they perhaps did not even know they were looking for. Amen. As we enter into worship, we acknowledge that our church and our own bodies stands, and we stand as well virtually today, on the traditional and ancestral lands of the Pennacook Abenaki people. We acknowledge that these people were horrifically colonized and stripped of their lives and dignity, and robbed of the land they loved and stewarded, and still do today. They are among us still. Thus we say that the spirit and therefore the heart of this land is your land, Kawasak Band of the Pennacook Abenaki people. So a woman will light the chalice as I read our chalice lighting tonight. In place of the one we say each time we gather in unison, this is written for this evening, Lisa Garcia Sampson, entitled The Great Turning. A glass ball held in a person's hand at the shores acts as a lens and shows an inverted image of the sea and the sunset sky. The image in the glass ball is sharp and in focus. The actual sea and sky visible around the ball is out of focus. In these wild, historic, and uncertain times, we gather to remember who we are, who we belong to, and what we are called to do. As we light this chalice, we kindle the spirit of the great turning, the movement for justice alive in this nation today. For our earth and all of her creatures, may we feel it in our bones, and in the stillness of this hour, may we sense this turning, calling our name. So before we move into the actual Thanksgiving address, we have a number of wonderful readers who are going to help with that. I wanted to read a reflection that Robin Wall Kimmerer wrote in November 26th of 2015. So I invite you to bring yourself back to the time before, let me call it that, November of 2015. And she wrote these words then, and they are all the more important today. So these are in her entirety. You will not be hearing my own words. In this season of harvest, our baskets are full, rounded with fragrant apples and heaped with winter squash. So too are the steel shopping carts that clatter across the parking lot, plastic bags whipping in the wind. How do we even name such abundance? Are these commodities, natural resources, ecosystem services? In the indigenous worldview, they are called gifts. We are showered every day with the gifts of the earth. Air to breathe, fresh water, the companionship of geese and maples, and food. Since we lack the gift of photosynthesis as humans, we animals are destined by biology to be utterly dependent upon the lives of others, the inherently generous, more than human persons with whom we share the planet. If we understand the earth as just a collection of objects, then apples and the land that offers them fall outside of our circle of moral consideration. We tell ourselves that we can use them however we please, because their lives don't matter. But in a worldview that understands them, apples and maples, as persons, their lives matter very much. Recognition of personhood does not mean that we don't consume, but that we are accountable for the lives we take. When we speak of the living world as kin, we are also called to act in new ways, so that when we take those lives, we must do it in such a way that brings honor to the life that is taken, and honor to the ones who prepared it and the ones who are receiving it. The canon of indigenous people principles that govern the exchange of life for life is known as the honorable harvest. There are rules of sorts that govern our taking, so that the world is as rich for the 7th generation as it is for us. The honorable harvest, a practice both ancient and urgent, applies to every exchange between people and the earth. Its protocol is not written down, but if it were, it would look something like this. Listen to these words. Ask permission of the ones whose lives you seek, be that an apple, a squash, plot of land, an animal, and abide by the answer. Never take the first, and never take the last. Harvest in a way that minimizes harm. Take only what you need, and leave some for others. Use everything you take. Take only that which is given to you. Share it as the earth has shared with you. Be grateful and reciprocate the gift. We're going to have some music. I'm going to read this again, and at the conclusion of that, we'll sit together in quiet contemplation where I invite all of us to truly contemplate what it would mean to be aware of and living in the kinship that is the truth of reality with all of Earth, all of her creatures, including all humans. You're also invited when we're sitting quietly to come forward if you are so moved to light a candle of either commitment you are making to yourself, a candle of gratitude and abundance. Ask permission of the ones whose lives you seek, the apple, the squash, the animal, the person. Abide by the answer. Never take the first. Never take the last. Harvest in a way that minimizes harm. Take only what you need. Leave some for others. Use everything you take. Take only that which is given to you. Share it as the earth has shared with you. Be grateful. Reciprocate the gift. I'll finish with her, Robin Wall Kimmerer's words, and then we'll move into the traditional address. She encourages us and writes, "Sustain the ones who sustain you, and the earth will last forever." Though we live in a world made of gifts, we find ourselves harnessed to institutions and to an economy that relentlessly asks, what more can we take from the earth? In order for balance to occur, we cannot keep taking without replenishing. Don't we need to ask instead, what can we give? The honorable harvest is a covenant of reciprocity between humans and the land. This simple list may seem like a quaint prescription for how to pick berries, but it is the root of a sophisticated ethical protocol that could guide us in a time when unbridled exploitation threatens the life that surrounds us. Western economies and institutions enmesh us all in a profoundly dishonorable harvest. Collectively, by assent or by inaction, we have chosen the policies we live by. We can choose again. What if the honorable harvest were the law of the land, and humans, not just plants and animals, fulfilled the purpose of supporting the lives of others? What would the world look like if a developer poised to convert a meadow to a shopping mall had first to ask permission of the meadowlarks and the goldenrod and abide by their answers? What if we fill our shopping baskets with only that which we need and give something back in return? How can we reciprocate the gifts of the earth? In gratitude, in ceremony, through acts of practical reverence and land stewardship, in fierce defense of the places we love, in art, in science, in song, in gardens, in children, in ballet, in stories of revival, in creative resistance, in how we spend our money and our precious lives. By refusing to be complicit with the forces of ecological destruction, whatever our gift, we are called to give it and dance for the renewal of the world. May it be so. This Haudenosaunee Thanksgiving address, also called Words That Come Before All Else, is used by Indigenous people, and Robin Wall Kimmerer visited this elementary school in the Onondaga Nation, where this was recited by the children every day, as I said, at the start of school. It is a prayer, she says, to be used every day as well, and before ceremonies. If you research and read Indigenous people's writings about this, one of the things that is so poignant to me is that when asked if people who are not Indigenous people should use this, the equivalent, without any other answer, it is always yes, please, and learn. It is a prayer Indigenous leaders want white people to read and learn from, and hopefully change our way. So we are reading it, as I said, this day, nearing sunset, in hope that a new day will indeed be forthcoming. So at this time, we'll have our readers come forward, and they're going to get into a line, and I invite all of us, as you're coming forward, all of us, those reading and those receiving, to really take these words in and recognize that these are thanksgiving. These are gifts of thanks that are being given to the natural world. And lest we buy into a less commonly discussed lie or a myth of capitalism, our gratitude and our thanks matters a lot. So I'm going to move this, and we'll turn to reader 1 with the handheld. Where did that go? Okay, we've got it. You can just take it out.
Today, we have gathered, and we see that the cycles of life continue. We have been given the duty to live in balance and harmony with each other and all living things. So now, we bring our minds together as one, as we give greetings and thanks to each other as people. Now,
we are all thankful to our mother, the earth, for she gives us all that we need for life. She supports our feet as we walk about upon her. It gives us joy that she continues to care for us as she has from the beginning of time. To our mother, we send greetings and thanks. Now, our minds are one.
We give thanks to all the waters of the world for quenching our thirst and providing us with strength. Water is life. We know its power in many forms: waterfalls and rain, mists and streams, rivers and oceans. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to the Spirit of water. Now our minds are one.
We turn our minds to all the fish life in the water. They were instructed to cleanse and purify the water. They also give themselves to us as food. We are grateful that we can still find pure water. So we turn now to the fish and send our greetings and thanks. Now our minds are one.
Now we turn towards the vast fields of plant life. As far as the eye can see, the plants grow, working many wonders. They sustain many life forms. With our minds gathered together, we give thanks and look forward to seeing plant life for many generations to come. Now our minds are one.
with one mind, we turn to honor and thank all the food plants we harvest from the garden. Since the beginning of time, the grains, vegetables, beans, and berries have helped the people survive. Many other living things draw strength from them too. We gather all the plant roots together as one and send them a greeting thanks. Now our minds are one.
Now we turn to all the medicine herbs of the world. From the beginning, they were instructed to take away sickness. They are always waiting and ready to heal us. We are happy there are still among us those special few who remember how to use these plants for healing. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to the medicines and to the keepers of the medicines. Now our minds are one.
We gather our minds together to send greetings and thanks to all the animal life in the world. They have many things to teach us as people. We are honored by them when they give up their lives so we may use their bodies as food for our people. We
Now turn our thoughts to the trees. The earth has many families of trees who have their own instructions and uses. Some provide us with shelter and shade, others with fruit, beauty, and other useful things. Many people of the world use a tree as a symbol of peace and strength. With one mind, we greet and thank the tree life. And now our minds are all one.
We put our minds together as one and thank all the birds who move and fly about over our heads. The Creator gave them beautiful songs. Each day they remind us to enjoy and appreciate life. The eagle was chosen to be their leader. To all the birds, from the smallest to the largest, we send our joyful greetings and thanks. Now our minds are one.
We are all thankful to the powers we know as the four winds. We hear their voices in the moving air as they refresh us and purify the air we breathe. They help us to bring the change of seasons. From the four directions they come, bringing us messages and giving us strength. With one mind, we send our greetings and thanks to the four winds. Now our minds are one.
Now we turn to the west, where our grandfathers, the thunder beings, live. With lightning and thundering voices, they bring with them the water that renews life. We are thankful that they keep those evil things made by the Okwaiziers underground. We bring our minds together as one to send greetings and thanks to our grandfathers, the Thunderers. Now our minds are one.
We now send greetings and thanks to our eldest brother, the sun. Each day, without fail, he travels the sky from east to west, bringing the light of a new day. He is the source of all the fires of life. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to our brother, the sun. Now our minds are one.
We put our minds together to give thanks to our oldest grandmother, the moon, who lights the nighttime sky. She is the leader of all women all over the world, and she governs the movement of the ocean tides. By her changing face, we measure time, and it is the moon who watches over the arrival of children here on earth. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to our grandmother, the moon. Now, our minds are one.
We give thanks to the stars who are spread across the sky like jewelry. We see them in the night, helping the moon to light the darkness and bring dew to the gardens and growing things. When we travel at night, they guide us home. With our minds gathered together as one, we send greetings and thanks to the stars. Now our minds are one.
We gather our minds to greet and thank the enlightened teachers who have come to help throughout the ages. When we forget how to live in harmony, they remind us of the way we were instructed to live as people. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to these caring teachers. Now our minds are one.
Now we turn our thoughts to the Creator, or Great Spirit, and send greetings and thanks for all the gifts of creation. Everything we need to live a good life is here on this Mother Earth. For all the love that is still around us, we gather our minds together as one and send our choicest words of greetings and thanks to the Creator. Now our minds are one.
We have now arrived at the place where we end our words. Of all the things we've named, it was not our intention to leave anything out. If something was forgotten, we leave it to each individual to send such greetings and thanks in their own way. Now, our minds arrive.
I'll just thank you, readers. As we begin to prepare to leave this space, I invite us and encourage us with a few suggestions. One is this Thursday, wherever you will find yourself and with whomever you are with, yourself alone or with many others or just one or two, know that we are deeply interconnected with everything in this world. None of us are ever alone. And outside of the windows where we may be, all of the rest of nature is our kin. The second suggestion I have is to notice on that day. There may be lots of talking or arguing or cooking or football playing. Take a minute, even from inside, if not outside of an abode, and notice. Notice the squirrels, the birds, the leaves, the sky. And make a promise to yourself to fall in love. Maybe even pick one thing, one animal, one tree, one patch of grass, and get to know it and love it with all of your heart and your mind and your soul. Because when things become particular, it makes all the difference. So let us go in peace, let us go in gratitude, and let us go in joy. Despite all that is so difficult, it is still a beautiful, beautiful world. Amen. Thank you for being here, everyone.